If you're thinking about moving and you want to learn about what everyday life is going to be like in your new town, this is the place for you. On Open House, we sit down with local, top producing real estate agents to help you find the best places to live in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So if you don't want buyer's remorse and you want to find your dream town, we are here for you. So go ahead and book a free call with us and we'll help guide you to the area that is right for you. Now, let's jump in and learn about your new home.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Open House Real Estate Network. My name is Zach, and today we are going to be talking with Steve Neal about Bedford, Virginia, talking about Bedford County, everything that you need to know about what to expect from living there. So, Steve, thank you for coming on the show today. I am curious, we were talking before about how you've lived in Bedford for quite some time. What's your favorite thing about living there?
We have the town of Bedford, which is located within the county. But the county has a lot of, we're close to the Blue Ridge Mountains, a lot of rolling pasture land, farmland. It's just very pretty, but we also see a lot of new development that's moving out into the county. So,
okay, cool. I'm a sucker for a beautiful landscape, so I'm excited to learn a bit more. If we're talking logistics, someone's looking to move to Bedford, they're going to want to know how much it costs to live there and what they can expect. So what is the population and overall size of Bedford?
Bedford County and the city has roughly about 80,000 population. Okay. So, and it's a pretty big county. It's kind of spread out. We have Forest, which is probably one of the fastest growing parts of the county. And that lead takes you up into Bedford, the town of Bedford. And then from there, we have a lot of rural area.
Okay. Would you say that Bedford County is mostly rural, given that the size and the population?
Yes, definitely. Mostly rural, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And we'll talk a little bit more about the town of Bedford because I am curious about that too. But just in Bedford County overall, what would you say is the median home price?
Probably somewhere around $250,000, roughly.
Okay. And if you guys have like offerings for townhomes, condos, all the way up to like larger mansions, what would you say the range is?
Probably anywhere from, of course you can, starter homes probably around 200,000, 150, 200,000 on up to, we have some developments in the Forest area that have homes, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000. And then of course you do have some larger tracts of land that have some acreage and some large homes that get up over the $1 million range. But
gotcha. Okay, that's cool. Would you say that most of the like townhome condo offerings, if there are any, would those be in Bedford, like the town of Bedford?
Most of them will be more in the Forest area of Bedford County.
Okay.
Because again, that's kind of the growth area. It's just you go from the city of Lynchburg and you roll right into Bedford County, which would be Forest, and that's one of the fastest growing areas of the state of Virginia.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. I'm curious about economics because it seems like Forest and the town of Bedford are a little bit different. What are people typically doing for work and where are they going to do it?
Well, the whole general central Virginia area is employment-wise. You see a lot of there's medical, manufacturing, and also education, higher education. So as you get more closer to the city of Lynchburg, those areas, we have some large employers, Framatome, BWXT. Some large, national employers, international employers, and we also have some healthcare, a lot of healthcare employment.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know. I remember when I was learning about Lynchburg, they said medical was pretty big, so that's awesome.
It is, yeah.
So I'm curious about the history. It brings a lot of character to any place. Is there an interesting piece of history that's unique to Bedford that's worth talking about?
There really is, yes. Bedford is home to the National D-Day Memorial. D-Day, the town of Bedford suffered the highest per capita loss in the invasion of any locality in the country. So they
Wow.
located the National D-Day Memorial in the basically the town of Bedford. It's really, really well done, really impressive.
That's really cool. Yeah. Um, Definitely something for people to check out, even if they just visit. So
Oh, it is really, really nice. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely need to check that out.
cool. Well, yeah, thanks for telling me about that. I love learning about the history in this area because it's so rich, especially with it being close to the capital. So, so let's talk more about like family life now that we've gotten logistics out of the way. Like, if you have kids, um, what are some of the main high schools in the area? That way, people know where to direct their research.
Well, in the Forest area, which is generally the closest area to the city of Lynchburg, you have Jefferson Forest High School, which is where my kids went. And then as you move more closer to the town of Bedford, you have Liberty High School. And then once you leave the town of Bedford, going, I guess it'd probably be south, you go up closer to Smith Mountain Lake, which is a great area.
Hmm.
And you have a high school up there. So we've got Jefferson Forest, Liberty, and Stanton River High School would be close to Smith Mountain Lake.
Gotcha. Okay. Smith Mountain Lake, I'm seeing it on the map. It looks very similar to a lake where I'm from. So that's kind of cool to see.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's nice.
cool. Well, yeah, that's definitely good info, for the folks that have kids. And kind of on the same track, if you have a small family and you're looking to do something for fun on the weekend, what are your options in the Bedford area?
Well, as always, you can visit the D-Day Memorial, of course. Then you have Smith Mountain Lake, which is about from the town of Bedford, probably about a 20-minute drive, 20 to 30-minute drive.
Oh, okay.
All kinds of things to do up there: boating, skiing, restaurants. It's just a great place to be. Just a beautiful area. Then, of course, Bedford County, part of it is kind of borders the city of Lynchburg, and there's all kinds of things to do in the city of Lynchburg. We have the Lynchburg Hill Cats, which is a minor league professional baseball team. And we have concerts and things like that. So,
Okay. Yeah, decent amount of fun, not too far away. So
right.
that's good. What about like date night? You're going out with your partner, you want to hit up a nice restaurant or go to a bar or something like that. What are your options?
Well, you can always go into the city of Lynchburg, but also the town of Bedford has a lot to do. The town of Bedford is one of the neatest little towns in the state of Virginia, in my opinion. It's just loaded with all these older craftsman homes. I mean, the original craftsman homes. So there's a couple breweries in Bedford, some really, really good high quality restaurants in Bedford. So that, if I was to take my wife out on a date, that's probably where I would take her.
Gotcha. Is there like one cuisine that just reigns supreme in Bedford, or is it really diverse, or what does that look like?
It's pretty diverse, but barbecue is a big hitter around here in this whole area. And there's a restaurant in Bedford that has some very, very, very good barbecue.
Cool. What's the name so that people know where to go?
Beals, Beales.
I
Yeah,
see it here on the map.
that's right.
I'm a fan of barbecue, so
It is really good.
that's always good.
It's a great brewery too. They brew their own beer there, and it's just a really, really neat place to go. Really fun place to go.
Sweet. Cool. Yeah. Shoot, if I visit Virginia, I'll have to check it out. Awesome. Okay, so I'm curious about events. Like some communities, the city doesn't do events, but like the individual neighborhoods do. What is Bedford like in regards to holiday events and any other special occasions as a community?
Bedford, they have a Christmas parade every year, and that's always fun to go to. And they have lots of the town of Bedford has lots of festivals and things like that. We have Thomas Jefferson's summer home is located just on the border of Bedford County, Campbell County, So they have a wine festival there every year. They just had it last weekend. You go up to Smith Mountain Lake. There's they're always having festivals and you know, wine tastings and things like that. It's just a good time. So there's a lot of things to do in Bedford County and also the town of Bedford.
That's cool. Yeah. I know that every city seems to have like their one big event. Either it's like 4th of July or it's Halloween, and it sounds like it's Christmas for Bedford. So
Right.
that's cool. The last thing that I want to touch on is nature. I'm a huge fan of the outdoors. My wife is too. For people that are like that, you know, I know that there's Smith Mountain Lake, which we've been mentioning, which is a really, really good option. It looks really pretty, a lot of fun. What are some other things that you'd be able to do in regards to, you know, anything outdoors in the area?
Well, Bedford, the town of Bedford is right at the foot of the Blue Ridge Mountains, what we call the Peaks of Otter. So there's some hiking trails up there. There's a lodge up there. It's just a beautiful place to go. Also, Bedford's not far from the James River, so you can do some rafting and kayaking, things like that. They have a bateau festival on the James River every year.
Cool.
Of course, what you do, you go up to Smith Mountain Lake, and there's things to do there as well that I've already talked about. But yeah, those are some of the highlights. But Bedford County has a lot of things to do nature-wise. A lot of hiking trails, and again, the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's just beautiful there.
Yeah. Well, it's cool because Beale is in the middle of all that. You know, you have Smith Mountain Lake to the south, and then the Blue Ridge Mountains to the north, and then you got the James River, which runs right through Lynchburg. So that's awesome. That's a pretty good variety of things to do. Steve, I really appreciate you coming on and talking about Bedford with us. It was great to learn about all these new things, and yeah, it was good having you.
Great, thanks for having me.